All right, guys, before we dive into what's happening right now, today, July 17th, 2025, in the US Congress and why this is absolutely historic for crypto, we need to talk about Galaxy Digital first. Because honestly, most people have no clue what this company actually does. And that's a huge mistake because Galaxy Digital has basically become the Goldman Sachs of the crypto world. I'm dead serious here. While everyone else was just talking about Bitcoin and Dogecoin, these guys quietly built a diversified financial empire, and they offer everything a modern investment bank does just for digital assets. We're talking about three main segments here. Global markets, that's their trading arm where they do derivatives, lending, and market making. Then they have asset management where they manage funds and investment products for institutional clients. And this is the kicker. They have digital infrastructure solutions. This used to be Bitcoin mining, but they completely transformed it into AI and high-performance computing. Imagine if Goldman Sachs suddenly also started running data centers for OpenAI. That's exactly what Galaxy Digital is doing right now. This diversification is why they're not just another crypto company, but a real financial institution that happens to specialize in crypto. And today, right today, we might see why this positioning was absolutely genius. After 3 days of intense discussions during the so-called crypto week, Republicans last night cleared the procedural hurdle, and I'm talking about a record-breakingly long voting process to bring three massive crypto bills to a final vote. We're talking about the Clarity Act, the Genius Act for stablecoins, and a third law about staking taxation. What happens today will shape the next 10 years of the crypto industry. And Galaxy Digital, they're sitting in the front row with popcorn because they've been preparing for exactly this moment. While other crypto companies are still wondering, oh God, what does regulation mean for us? Galaxy Digital has been building their compliance department for years. They're NASDAQ listed, they have Goldman Sachs level corporate governance, they have all the structures that institutional investors want to see. If these laws pass tonight, and it's looking damn good, then Galaxy Digital is ready to go, while others are still doing their homework. Actually, let me tell you what's really crazy about today. This isn't just about passing some bills. This is about the US government finally acknowledging that digital assets are a legitimate asset class that deserves proper regulation, not just enforcement actions and confusion. The Clarity Act alone is going to change everything about how crypto markets operate. For years, the biggest problem for crypto companies was regulatory uncertainty. Banks didn't want to work with you, institutional investors stayed away, and everyone was scared of the SEC. But Galaxy Digital has been playing this whole time as if the rules were already there. They've acted like a traditional investment bank, just with the digital assets. And now that this clarity is finally coming, they have a huge head start over everyone else. The Clarity Act will define market structure. Galaxy Digital is already doing market making and trading at an institutional level. The Genius Act will regulate stablecoins. Galaxy Digital already trades all major stablecoins and has the infrastructure for it. The new staking law will bring clarity on taxation. Galaxy Digital already has the accounting systems and compliance processes needed for that. It's like they have the answers to a test that everyone else is seeing for the first time today. But here's the kicker. Galaxy Digital doesn't just benefit from the regulation itself, but from what comes after. When institutional investors finally get the green light, who do you think will be their first stop? The Goldman Sachs of crypto, of course, pension funds, insurance companies, family offices. They all want to work with someone who looks and acts like a traditional investment bank. Galaxy Digital is that bank. And today could be the day when the floodgates open. I'm not exaggerating when I say this could trigger the biggest institutional adoption wave we've ever seen in crypto. And guess who's positioned perfectly to capture that flow? Exactly. But wait, it gets even better. Galaxy Digital has quietly built a second growth engine that most people completely overlook. Remember their Helios campus in West Texas? That used to be a Bitcoin mining operation, but Galaxy Digital recognized which way the wind was blowing and is converting the whole thing to AI and high-performance computing infrastructure. We're not talking about a few servers here. We're talking about hundreds of megawatts of capacity that they're leasing to companies like CoreWeave. Picture this. While today crypto regulation is passing and everyone's looking at Galaxy Digital as the safe harbor for institutional crypto investments, they simultaneously have a completely different business that's profiting from the AI revolution. That's like hitting a double jackpot. Bitcoin mining was always volatile. Price goes up and down, mining difficulty changes, margins get crushed. But AI infrastructure, that's long-term contracts, predictable revenue, exactly what infrastructure investors love. And the timing is perfect. While everyone's desperately searching for AI compute, Galaxy Digital already has the facilities, the power infrastructure, the cooling systems, everything you need. They don't have to start from zero like others. They're just converting existing assets. That's brilliant execution meets perfect timing. And the best part? These two growth engines complement each other perfectly. Their crypto clients are starting to use AI. Their AI clients might want to invest in crypto. Galaxy Digital becomes the one-stop shop for the next generation of tech companies. Think about the synergies here. They understand both traditional finance and cutting-edge technology. That's an incredibly rare combination that could create massive value as these worlds continue to converge. Guys, I honestly believe we're witnessing a turning point today, not just for crypto, but specifically for Galaxy Digital. The combination of regulatory clarity and their unique positioning as a diversified digital asset institution could catapult them into a completely different league. Think about Amazon. They started as an online bookstore and are now a cloud computing giant. Galaxy Digital is doing something similar. They started as a crypto investment bank and are now becoming this hybrid institution that covers both traditional finance and cutting-edge technology. And the market will reward that. So far, Galaxy Digital has often been dismissed as just another crypto company. But when institutional money really starts flowing, and today could be the day that happens, then investors will realize that Galaxy Digital is actually more like Blackstone or KKR, just for digital assets with AI infrastructure on top. That's a completely different valuation logic. Instead of volatile trading revenue, they get predictable management fees and infrastructure revenue. Instead of just being dependent on crypto cycles, they profit from three megatrends simultaneously: crypto institutionalization, AI revolution, and the general digitization of finance. What really gets me excited is that Galaxy Digital isn't just following trends, they're creating trends. They were early in institutional crypto services, they were early in the AI infrastructure transformation, and they were definitely early in acting like a proper financial institution instead of a crypto startup. Today could be the day when the rest of the market finally gets it. And honestly, looking at their positioning right now, I think we're still early. Most people are focused on the obvious plays like Coinbase or MicroStrategy. But Galaxy Digital might be the sophisticated play that institutional investors really gravitate toward once they start moving serious money into this space. I have this feeling that we're experiencing one of those rare moments where everything changes. Galaxy Digital has worked for years to become the Goldman Sachs of crypto, but what they've actually achieved is even more impressive. They've become an institution that's respected in both the traditional finance world and the crypto world, while simultaneously having exposure to the AI revolution. That's not normal. That's extraordinary. And if these laws pass today, which looks very likely, then Galaxy Digital is no longer just a crypto company trying to gain legitimacy. They're an established financial institution that happens to be the market leader in a new regulated asset class. The difference is huge. Institutional investors love predictability, they love clarity, and they love companies with diversified revenue streams. Galaxy Digital checks all these boxes. Plus, they have this AI infrastructure wild card that gives them exposure to a market that's growing even faster than crypto. Honestly, while everyone's watching Coinbase and MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital could quietly become the most important player that nobody saw coming. Not because they were lucky, but because they were strategic. They recognized early that the future of finance isn't just about digital assets, it's about building the infrastructure that powers the entire digital economy. economy. And today, with these crypto laws potentially passing, that vision might finally get the recognition it deserves. This feels like the moment when Galaxy Digital transitions from being a crypto company with big ambitions to being a financial infrastructure company that happens to dominate crypto. And that, my friends, is a much bigger opportunity than most people realize.